Welcome back to Market Day Report, and we go back to Chicago. One last look at the livestock trade. Todd Horwitz coming to us live from the floor at the CME Group in Chicago. And Todd, you mentioned the very light volume of trade in the grain complex. What about numbers, volume of trades showing up today in livestock?
Volume's a little light there as well, but here's the difference, Mark. We're going right to levels that we wanted to go to sell. I don't mind that. I believe these markets are going to, again, work their way lower. As we said yesterday, and if you're listening on XM 147, you would have heard us say that we expect a bounce coming here somewhere, and we got it today. Now, again, that bounce might have been helped by a little bit of lighter volume, but it is fueled typically by short covering. People were selling, they were getting in, and now they see the markets on here, they want to start to cover, and then it chases over each other. So we're right up to, last I looked, 133.50 in live cattle. I mean, 134 to 135, I think, is another unique, great selling opportunity. It's right up against resistance based on a technical pattern. I would be happy to sell them some more there. And
you're talking February cattle then, right? Is that right there? Is that Feb cattle? 134?
Right.
Okay.
And then as we look at the feeders, I'm looking right here. We're trading 164, 165 when I walked up here.
Yep.
166 to 168. I'd love to sell them some more. And again, that's what you see, and these are moves you're going to expect. We've talked about this a couple of times. When you get overextended market conditions, especially to the downside, you're going to get these short covering rallies. But the basis trend now is certainly lower, and if you tie that back into all the economy, you have to realize that there are some problems in the economy, and you're seeing it through some of the retail stores and everything in general, which means that people have less money to spend, which means they're not going to be out spending and probably buying a steak anytime soon.
Yeah, they're trying to get every Friday to be a Black Friday here just to get some business, I would think. Now, that being said, before we look at the hog trade, and we obviously tie a lot of this to what producers might do, what about consumers out there looking at beef prices, retail level? What would be anything you want to say to them as far as what they're seeing at the counter?
Well, I think they're seeing higher prices, and I think what you've really seen is you've seen some of the smart retailers repackage a little bit smaller weight, so it looks like they're getting the same thing. But overall, I think that prices will come lower, but one thing we know for sure about the retailer, they know that next week is what? Thanksgiving. They know that mostly it's going to be turkey, but there will be a few meat people out there and so on. They're not going to bring these prices down. They're going to try to capitalize on the holiday season. After Thanksgiving, I would look for prices to fall pretty good for the next couple of weeks until we get back near Christmas again.
All right, we take a look at the hog trade. Todd Horwitz, again, those are live comments from the CME Group. Hogs not following the cattle or feeder cattle. They're higher, but just barely.
You know, as we said before, hogs are really kind of just stuck in a range. You know, they're not really sure where they want to go. We've got that 56, 57 on the upside saying they get up there and they fall back down, and, 52, 53 on the downside. I like the space. I'm not a player yet. It needs to show me that it can break out above that resistance level and see some movement. Now, I think it can probably happen. Of course, we'll see a bigger demand for hams next week and things like that. But overall, we're going to see this probably break to the upside eventually. But again, I'm going to wait. I don't have to be in a hurry to get in today because I can get in when it's starting to move. So instead of rushing, let it get through my key upward level, which is 56. Once it gets through, then I'll evaluate and find a place to get in. So I'll miss part of the rally if I'm right.
Very good. Todd, thanks for your information. As always, we look forward to keeping in touch.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, Todd Horwitz live from Chicago. Real quick, live cattle futures still higher. One last look before we go to break.